Celtics beat the Knicks in the preseason. Things I like, Porzingis, Al Horford. Things I didn't like, turnovers and no clarity. And things that made me go, it's all right now on the Locked On Celtics podcast.
Be ever ready. Recognize the city of champs. Boston, baby, we do what you can't. Locked on number 18, Tatum and Brown, J-team, step back. We gon' wet that and slay teams. Of course, the Celtics, who else could it be? Screaming like KG with the Larry O.B. Karalis above average, assessing the team status. Best daily pod, no cap, salary matching. Clutch like Bird the DJ, keep John on replay. Prime time, dapping up the truth on the sideline. Raining J's, how it started, raising banners, how we finished. Locked on Celtics pod, home of the winners. B.
Hey there, welcome back to the Locked On Celtics podcast. Thank you so much for making this show part of your daily routine. I'm here for you Monday through Friday with a free, emphasis on fresh podcast dropped directly to your device if you subscribe. So go ahead and subscribe everywhere podcasts exist, even on YouTube. Hop into the comment section. Let me know what you're thinking after this win over the New York Knicks, 123-110. I'm John Karalis. I played pro ball a long time ago. Now I'm a beat writer. I'm on the beat. I'm covering the Celtics for Boston Sports Journal. Trying a new format here, so you regular listeners, let me know what you think, or everybody let me know what you think. I'm going to start with things I like. Then second segment will be things I don't like. And then in the third segment, things that made me go, because I'm nothing if not current with my references. So, and on a bad night, I might flip the things I don't like and the things that I like. But I'm going to see if this works as a post-game kind of format. Things I like, things I don't like, things that are making me go, just things that I'm wondering. So let's start here with things that I like about this 123-110 win over New York, who didn't play any of their starters. So all of this is taken with a grain of salt. This is not a typical preseason game. This has not been a typical preseason. I was very excited about seeing this team come in against real competition to get a sense of who they might be, but nope. New York decided to rest everybody. But I still like the ball movement. I still like the first half. They got a ton of open shots, especially in the first half, where they shot 16 of 29 from three, 25 of 46 overall. So 54% from overall, 55.2% from three. They shot 29 3-pointers, which means they shot 17 2-pointers. But they also went to the line 13 times. They were 12 of 13 from the line. They had 16 assists in the first half. Very, very nice. They were up 18 in the first half. They were up by as much as 27-28. So they really put on a nice show. Al Horford didn't start. Al Horford came off the bench. But one of the things that I liked was Al Horford's energy. When he came off the bench, this dude was playing like he was 27, not 37, and was a key catalyst in the Celtics building that monster lead. He was a plus 11 in just over 6 minutes in the first quarter. So he came in and changed the energy of the game. How about Al Horford being an energy changer? I don't know how this starting lineup is going to go. They started one night with Drew Holiday. They started another night with Al Horford on the bench. So when given the opportunity, we have one night of one night of the other. I think Al Horford starting on the bench, I've talked about this before. I think that's the move. I think that's the way, if I was coaching, I think that's how I would start these games, because you want shooting at the 5 as often as possible. You want to be able to spread the floor, and no matter who is in there, is it Tatum, Brown, is it Derek White, Drew Holiday, is it Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser? Anytime you can space the floor more, that's great for the Celtics. So I like Al Horford off the bench. But as we talked about yesterday, I can see the argument for Holiday off the bench. I can see it. It's and every night there's going to be a justification for one or the other. So I think in this game, it was just another let's try it, let's see it. And you're going up against Mitchell Robinson, who is a big dude. And early on, he was busting them on the rebounds, which is part of the things I don't like, which I'm going to save. But I thought they were trying something new and they wanted to get a look at it. When Al Horford came in, he was defying his age. He looked like he was playing with playoff energy. That was a lot of fun to see. So that was definitely something that I liked. Porzingis is definitely something that I liked in this game because he continues to play like a really effective, important, versatile piece. In this first half, he had 13.6 rebounds on 5 of 8 shooting, 3 of 6 from 3. Again, the Celtics, the worst shooter in the first half was Derek White, 2 of 5 from 3, so that's 40%. So Tatum hit 4 of 5 from 3, which is another thing that I like. Jayson Tatum is notoriously a slow starter, so getting him going early, getting the open looks, that's something that everybody should like. I think in general, the ball movement was incredible. Again, the Knicks were playing their second and third units, so let's not go overboard, but it was what it was. We saw what we saw. The ball movement was incredible. They generated a ton of wide open looks, and they made almost all of those wide open looks. It was a lot of fun to see because a lot of times that ball rotated, got to the other side, and a defender was forced to make a decision. Am I going to this guy? Am I going to that guy? And it didn't matter what guy he picked. He just, whichever one he picked, the other guy got the shot. And there was good patience in the ball movement, and they executed the good to great very, very well. Give up a good shot to get a great shot. Jaylen Brown had a very nice assist in the corner to get Derek White a wide open 3. He had an opportunity, I think, to take the shot that he had. I think it would have been a decent shot, but just draw that defense, kick it over to that corner, and you get Jaylen Brown with 6 assists to lead the team. 17.6 assists for JB, 28 points for Jayson Tatum because that shot was falling, 5 of 8 from 3 overall. Tatum did a lot of everything. 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, a block. He had a nice rotation over to Mitchell Robinson. So they start, obviously, with Tatum at the 4. Tatum switched over to Mitchell Robinson. And then I forget who drove, but he came off of Robinson and blocked the shot. That's the block shot that he had. He only had 2 turnovers. So just an overall incredibly efficient game for Tatum. In 29 and a half minutes, 28 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, and a block. What a line. What a line. I wouldn't expect him to shoot 60% from the field and from 3 all season long. But again, for a slow starter like Tatum and a guy who struggled from 3 all season long, any little bit of evidence that maybe he's not going to shoot that poorly this season is very welcome. File it away. We'll see what he does Thursday night in Charlotte. And hopefully that continues. Jayson Tatum hitting more 3-point shots. Obviously, your star player hitting shots is going to be great, but getting him comfortable from 3 is a huge part of this season and would be an improvement from last season. He'll go from first team All-NBA to MVP conversation and unquestioned first team All-NBA. So that was a great night from Tatum. I thought overall the ball movement was generally great. The defense was actually pretty good for the first half. The third quarter, again, the stuff I dislike is coming up next. If it wasn't for the rebounding and if it wasn't for some fouls and some turnovers, I think the Celtics would have gone into the half up 30 or more. The first half defense minus the rebounding, and rebounding is part of defense. The first half defense was good. Yeah, that was really good. But like I said, rebounding, I had a conversation, an exchange with Joe Mazzulla about the rebounding. I'll share that with you next. I won't play the audio, but I'll share how that went. Other things that I didn't like that's coming up next, that swoon, that lapse that kind of made you go, oh, God, this again, and Jaylen Brown's turnovers, plus a complete lack of clarity. That is bothering me. That's all next. Today's show is brought to you by Birddogs. Birddogs are shorts that are you're gonna love these. These are gonna be part of your regular rotation. And I don't care that it's winter. I don't care, or winter's around the corner. I don't care that it's 40. What degree? It's 48 degrees as I record this at almost 2:30 in the morning after the game. It's still, for me, with Birddogs, it's still shorts weather. They make these stretch khaki shorts that are designed to fit slimmer through the thigh, so you get nice sculpted looking legs. They do the exact same thing as Lululemon, but they fit way better. They have this cloud knit fabric that looks like khaki but stretches, so you get a nice slimmer fit, and they're functional for any occasion. Wake up in the morning, go get that last round of golf in, come back home, just lounge around, get some lunch, and go on out with your friends. Go on out on a date night. You can still do that. Look, man, it's New England. If you're still not wearing shorts, like you're wearing shorts in 50-degree weather, you shorts and a hoodie, Birddogs in a hoodie, do it. Go to birddogs.com/LockedOnNBA. Birddogs.com/LockedOnNBA. Or use the promo code LockedOnNBA at checkout. You get a free Birddogs water bottle on top of these awesome looking shorts. That's birddogs.com/LockedOnNBA for a free water bottle at checkout. I'm telling you, you're not going to want to take your Birddogs off. And plus, with these free gifts, you're just going to be styling. So check them out, birddogs.com/LockedOnNBA. Thank you for making Locked On NBA your first listen every day. Check out the Locked On NBA podcast. I couldn't make the Locked On NBA podcast, so Jake Madison, I think Tony East is probably filling in from the Locked On Pacers because he always fills in. He's our sixth man of the year. So go check them out. It's going to be a great look at the league, and find it wherever you found this podcast. Let's get back into the things I didn't like in this game. And let's start with that end of first half into the third quarter swoon. And it felt like here are the Celtics up 28. They end the first half poorly. You got to end quarters. You got to end halves well. And frankly, I'm kind of glad that they did this because it's another reminder. Joe can get onto the team plane tomorrow as they head to Charlotte and be like, hey guys, remember, you're supposed to finish quarters and finish halves well. And in this game, you finished it like crap. You started the third quarter like crap. You got to start these quarters well. So get that mentality there. He talks about mind state, having the proper mind state and that proper mentality. And if you're not pushing through those potential lapses where it's the Knicks without their starters, you've gone up 28 and you're just like, I'm done. We've learned what we're going to learn. No, I'm not getting anything else out of this. Can we please fast forward to the end of the game? Which in the preseason, totally get it. I'm not even mad that they did it. It's just, but you got to finish this out. And you got to remember that in this scenario, you're trying to learn things. And so you're robbing Joe Mazzulla of these opportunities to, hey, if you're running this pick and roll, how are you going to do this? How is the defense going to react? How are you going to react to the defense? And also, if you're going to have lapses now, that doesn't like bode well for later. So as much as I'm not mad at this particular lapse, I'm not going to go down and be like, they did the same thing as last year again. I'm going to say that I didn't like it. I'm going to just file it away. And I'm going to hope that they understand that this is something that they shouldn't do and they don't want to get back into that habit. Another thing I didn't like, Jaylen Brown's turnovers. Sorry, JB. 17 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds is nice, but 4 turnovers, team high, 4 turnovers in 29 and a half minutes in a game that you were up by 28 and in a game you won by 13, you were -1. Now, also, Derek White was a -1. So let's be fair. I didn't think Derek White played poorly, but to be out there and be a minus anything in this game is not great. O'Shea Brissett at the end, -3, doesn't matter. But to be a -1, I mean, meaningless, right? Ultimately meaningless, but still minus. You're up. The turnovers are part of the problem. And if Jaylen Brown's going to have these turnover issues, and if those are going to persist, that's going to be a problem. And I'm not going to say that he shouldn't be on the floor down the stretch or anything like that, but I wouldn't put it past them to put him back in the game a little bit later down the stretch. Take him out for a stretch in the fourth quarter where, hey, we're rolling with this. You start the fourth quarter. We're going to take you out for a big, long stretch, 6 minutes, and we'll put you in for the last few minutes. But we don't want your turnovers killing us in the fourth quarter. He just has to. I'm joking with Jaylen, but you have to get those turnovers under control. Has to happen. There's no messing around here anymore. You got to get those turnovers under control. Rebounding. It was funny because I had an exchange with Joe Mazzulla. I asked him, what was your opinion of the rebounding? And he started going on and on about like, well, last year we were, this and, we were that and we were this, I think this year we're doing okay. And let me pull up his his comments here. He says, no, I think our rebounding has been relatively good. We missed a couple of free throw rebounding situations. I liked our offensive rebounding. He was searching, right? He says, I think we have a lot of good possessions of physical blockouts and the other guy coming back to get it. And then he says, so what do you think about it? And I said, you were shaky to start the game. Mitchell Robinson putbacks were killing you. And it looks like you have the personnel out there that are struggling to rebound. And this is the money quote here. He says, it's definitely something we're going to continue to talk about. You have to be good at it. It's funny. I thought we didn't stress it as much a ton last year, and we were really good at it for the most part. This year, we're really hammering at it, and it's not that good. So he said, he finally admitted after like trying to say something positive, after like we had that back and forth, he said, yeah, okay. Almost like he's like, you got me. We're hammering it. We're trying. We know we need to rebound better, but it's not that good. So rebounding has to be a priority. Rebounding has to be a priority for everybody. It wasn't very good in this game, and it continues to be something that's an Achilles heel. They got away with it against New York because it's New York, and they weren't playing everybody. So, yeah, they were able to get away with it. But you can't give up offensive rebounds. What did Mitchell Robinson have? 4 offensive rebounds and 4 offensive rebounds to Isaiah Hartenstein. That's not good. And that's not going to cut it. You cannot give up 14 offensive rebounds. And the Celtics had 13 of their own, but you cannot give up 14 offensive rebounds. You're going to give up some because it's just how it goes. But you got to box those guys out. That's a team effort. That's everybody. That's wings have to box out. That's everybody's got to box out. So rebounding is a massive issue. It's probably their biggest issue as we head into the final preseason game. And the last thing that I don't like is that we still don't have any real clarity. All preseason, we've had 2 games now with the regulars. 2. And in one, the Knicks, in the first one, the Sixers didn't play Embiid or Harden. And in this one, the Knicks didn't play any of their starters. So what do we have here? What's this team really? What are they really? I have incredible confidence. This is a special team. I believe that this team is super, super special. But Can we get some clarity? Can we see what these lineups look like against real competition? The first opportunity to get real minutes against real competition is actually going to be on opening night. The preseason, great for all of the drills, and Jayson Tatum said the practices are really hard, and everybody's talking about how great the practices are and how great the camp is, and that's all great. But I don't like the fact that we don't have any real clarity. We don't have any real competition where we can say, here's Tatum and Brown and these guys against a real starting five, and this is how they actually played. This is how these combinations worked. Can't really fully evaluate this. And you don't end up ever fully evaluating a team in preseason, but should be further along in our evaluation than this. So I don't like that there's no clarity here at this point. We're gonna have to wait. It's gonna be like November is gonna be our evaluation process. Just have to be, that's how it's gonna be. Things that made me go, the substitution pattern, especially the way Joe Mazzulla used his subs, makes me wonder. We'll talk about that next. Today's show is brought to you by our good friends at FanDuel. FanDuel is obviously, it's football season. You're going to be betting on, again, bet against the Patriots. Just bet against the Patriots. Whatever they're playing Buffalo this weekend. Oh my God. All you got to do is bet $5. When you place that $5 bet, you get $200 in bonus bets, guaranteed win or lose. If the Patriots somehow come back and beat the Bills or cover the spread and you lose that $5 bet, you still get the $200 in bonus bets. So check out FanDuel. Obviously, there's tons of player props, NBA stuff. Bet on Jayson Tatum to make MVP. Bet on the Celtics to on their over-under, their win total. If you think they're going to win 57, 58, 59 games, bet the over. So check it out at FanDuel.com/LockedOn. It's FanDuel.com/LockedOn. You can still get in on NFL action. You can get in on NBA action. Regular season starts very soon. So check it out, FanDuel.com/LockedOn to get started. FanDuel is an official partner of the NFL. Just ask you, if you're going to do it, please gamble responsibly. Thank you for making Locked On Celtics your first listen every day. Go check out the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast. Josh Lloyd's going to help you win your league. So go check it out. Make sure you're listening to Locked On Fantasy Basketball. If you're playing fantasy basketball, you'll just get an advantage that other people in your league don't have. So the thing that made me go, is the substitution pattern. That's the number one thing. The Celtics in the first half brought Horford off the bench, Hauser, Pritchard, and for like just 3 minutes, Luke Cornett. So obviously Horford is going to be whoever it is. If it's Horford, if it's Holiday, if it's Derek White, if it's I don't know if it's going to be anybody else, probably not, but whoever it is that's coming off the bench, you're definitely getting 6. So 7, 8, 9, 10. You run an 8, 9, 10-man rotation in the regular season. 9 is ideal. So Pritchard, okay. Hauser, sounds good. And then Luke Cornett. These guys who were here last year, that's your bench. That's your 9-man rotation, which means we didn't see O'Shea Brissett, who Joe Mazzulla has reference to as part of the bench. He's specifically said O'Shea Brissett, like when he's talking about the second unit. Delano Banton, who has gotten some looks from the Celtics here. Shvi Mikhailuk, who looked good. Lamar Stevens did not play at all in this game, which is kind of wild. Brissett played late in the game, played 8 minutes. Banton played the fourth quarter. No Nemayesh Keita. The guy that we were like kind of say, oh, wow, this guy's playing well. Maybe he can take Luke Cornett's minutes. No, he's not. He didn't get any time. He'll probably get time on Thursday, but and maybe they're saving these guys for Thursday. But DNP coach's decision. just going down the box score, Davison, Wenyen Gabriel, Shvi Mikhailuk, Maish Keita, Lamar Stevens, DJ Stewart, Jordan Walsh. Not surprised. Obviously, DJ Stewart's going to get waived. Jordan Walsh is going to play in the G League. That's not a surprise. Keita is a two-way player. Maybe just, hey, sometimes in preseason, a guy looks good against the other team's end of bench, and it means nothing. Maybe that's just what we saw with Maish Keita. I'd like to see if that's the case. I'd like to see him, but, maybe put him in there against Mitchell Robinson. Just let's see. But he didn't play. Mikhailuk didn't play. Gabriel didn't play at all. It's just guys that I thought might get looks, but I guess in practice, this is you're getting all the looks in practice. So your bench seems to be whichever of the top 6 didn't start. Hauser, Pritchard, Cornette. That's your 9. You can go Delano Banton if you want size. You can go O'Shea Brissett if you want to limit Tatum and Brown. But look, they played Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum 29 and a half minutes. Porzingis played 28. Derek White 24. Drew Holiday played 29 and a half almost. Hauser played almost 22. Horford played 23. Pritchard played 22, a little more than 22. Like, there's opportunities here. They limited all the minutes, and they got through this game. Obviously, in a real game, Tatum and Brown and all those guys would bump up another 7-8 minutes in the fourth quarter, but that would just bring them to 37-38. It's a little on the high side, but that's where maybe you say Brissett, maybe one of these other guys, but this is their rotation. I'm a little surprised, but I think this is what they're going to go with, and they're going to see how it works. And as I said before, because the evaluation period is non-existent for us on the outside, and look, they on the inside certainly get more information because they see practices and they see how these guys have gotten after it in practice, but it's still practice, and you're still hitting a teammate in practice. You're still going hard against a teammate in practice. I want to see how they do when they get hit by another team, when they don't know what's coming, when there's a crowd, when there's refs, when there's, mistakes, when, all of those things. So whatever this rotation was in this game, I don't know that that's going to be how it ends up going in the regular season. There's a lot of information still yet to be had. So I thought it was very interesting how Joe Mazzulla used his team. I'll take a closer look at it, but I think we know the top 9, and you can throw Brissett in there as the top 10, and I think that's probably it. Banton as an 11th just for size, and he'll play when Peyton Pritchard can't, and that's it. Everyone else, maybe if Hauser's in a slump, Mikhailuk gets in there. Maybe Mikhailuk doesn't want to play that role and they cut him and they let him go and he just goes to overseas or goes to Greece or whatever. I don't know how that's going to go, but yeah, that's it. Sorry, I'm just like staring at the box score going like, that's it. That's the lineup. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the show. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll take a second look at this game, second look at the first half especially, and that'll be tomorrow's show. And then Thursday night is a post-game show. So this is the Wednesday show. The Thursday show will be kind of a reevaluation if anything big comes up. Celtics are traveling. And then the Friday show will be Thursday night post-game. So make sure you're subscribed wherever you get your podcast. Would love to have you here on the YouTube page. Let me know what you think. Get into the comment section. Whoops. Wrong clip. I would love it if you shared the podcast. Spread the word. Tell everybody they should be listening to and watching the Locked On Celtics podcast right here on the Locked On Podcast Network. It's your team every day.